Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to see if I can get the same cell reaction from one of my canvases that I did the other day. That video is coming out soon, but I will show you a sneak peek at these results. I won't show it all to you, but look at that. I want to try and replicate these right here. And that was with one particular bottle of white that I made. And that's this one right here. Whoops. So you might notice this white bottle has a blue tinge to it. That's because I added mica powder in with the paint. You can actually see a good line of blue right there. I gotta shake it up. But this is what I used with those other colors. I haven't gotten any results like those yet on any of my other canvas, so I want to see if that white that I mixed up is the key. For today's pour, I am going to focus on the color and different shades of green. None of my pour paintings have any green in them, except for one, and that was this one right here. Unfortunately, this was one that I did not get a recording of. It just kind of slipped my mind and I was doing a little bit of dabbling, but I really like how that's going on right here. Along with this is so nice. So I thought, I don't usually do a whole lot of green. For our base layer of paint, could just go with white, keep things normal. I don't have to put a base layer down, but it definitely helps pull the colors when I start to tilt and turn. And I also got myself a Lazy Susan. If you don't know what that is, I'll go and grab it. You might have seen some other paint YouTubers have one where they put their canvas on something like this. It spins and the centrifugal force pulls the paint out. That's what I did last night, and it is a game changer. If you get at a point where you're tilting and you're like losing a whole lot of paint, one of these will definitely help you retain some of those edges and just kind of pull them out even more. So let's get to it. I'm going to take one of these away, free up some space. Welcome back, Gamer Chick Gonna Win. Nice to see you again. Some of my other pour cups are still not dry yet, no surprise there. So I am going to grab a new cup. I do my best to try and use up my pour cups as much as I can, just so that way I'm not burning through cups once a video or something, and then it's one and done. I don't want to do that. Okay, gonna move this out of the way. We'll add our base layer color, just so that way I'm hoping the colors that sit on top are gonna pull away from that base color, and maybe it'll give us something truly unique. Alright, so the colors I am going to be using today that I mentioned were going to be in the green family. Their consistencies vary differently just because I don't have a recipe for mixing my paints and my paint colors, but the consistency is what gives you these really unique cells and these different effects. So this will be very much a we'll see what we get kind of a situation. Alright, for colors, I have this one here that I mixed on my own. It's almost like a lime green, but it's more closer towards yellow. I used light green, come on, focus, light green dollar store paint. Focus. There we go. Medium acrylic paint, water soluble. This is what you find at the dollar store. And it tends to be a little bit more thicker and on the gloppy side, so I do have to thin it out. And then I also used Apple Barrel Spring Green. And I believe I also used bright yellow to help me achieve this color. It's kind of a nice medium green. Then we're going to go lighter with almost like a pastel version of that spring green mix. This one had more yellow, and I've added white to help break everything up. Yeah, see how it just kind of goes through the center, and it's even pulling some of the spring green paint down with it. It just proves it's a little bit more on the liquid side. For contrast, we are going to go with Pine Green from Apple Barrel. This one is most notably going to be thicker, and I also mixed in a Shamrock Green, I believe it is. The Shamrock Green is a gloss, so I'm not going to add too much in this one, just for the possibility that the gloss is going to overtake, and by the time everything dries it might actually crackle. This next color is most notably the most liquidy of them all, and it is a mix of the gloss Clover Green from Apple Barrel, Deep Phthalo Blue from the dollar store, plus Turquoise Blue by Americana, or Americana, however you want to say it, and water. So we got a little bit of everything in this one. Probably more water than paint. Oh yeah, definitely. It's just disappearing. Okay, now we are going to add our white with the blue undertone in it. It's also a bit more on the liquidy side, but I'm hoping that will mix with the thicker colors. I'm gonna add a good, oh no. No paint skins. Okay, let's try that again. Paint skins will really ruin your painting. I don't want them. And you know what? To keep things light and bright, let's add a yellow. This yellow is a mix between canary yellow and bright yellow with, I don't think, any water. So I'm kind of hoping this one sits, and if I need to blow it out, maybe it will hide underneath the paint and it'll be like a nice bright pop of color. Alright, so here is our cup. Mustard, oh no. I mean, it's not as bright as mustard, but I can see how you would think that. So for these bottles that I'm using, these are dollar store condiment bottles. So you could argue and say that this is ketchup and this is mustard. But I mean, it really works. Now that we got our colors, you know what? I'm gonna make that yellow sink a little bit more. And I'm gonna add, oh, look at that. So this is the same white that we added to everything else, but that yellow is bringing out those blue undertones. Don't look like white so much anymore. That'll be interesting. Our cup is full. Let's go. We'll hold that back. So I've got a lot on the canvas already. Oh, and look at that, we've already got some bubbles forming out here on the lines. When you get bubbles, that's when cells come up, and that's when You are most likely going to get cells. Sorry, I'm going to try and keep this in frame. I like that little pocket of yellow that's showing up between the green here in the upper left corner. Kind of makes me think of like scales almost. Okay, so I can either leave it as is, or I can bring it to the Lazy Susan. Just little itty bitty changes are happening. Okay, so I've got the rest of the colors in that cup that I saved. I am going to go along the sides and kind of refresh it a little bit. This more than likely will change it, hopefully for the better. I want to keep that spot. But I just need everything to kind of stretch out just a little bit more. Hey, that looks good. Almost can't tell I added some right there. You kind of can. Make sure the edges are covered. So whenever I do this and you see my finger running across the edge of the canvas, there are some paint drips that don't go over the edge, and it just gives a more unified look. But it doesn't necessarily cover up the edges, but it just helps to make everything look more unified. Okay, taking this away, I am actually quite happy with that. Back, I've got a few cells in there, but nothing quite like the blue painting. Yeah, that looks cool. Oh, I like that bit. Here's a couple cells with the yellow and the green right there. Awesome. Well, I'm pretty happy with that.